Newest and hottest cologne fragrances, but are they worth it? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name's Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be looking into this bag, Mark Gebauer's bag, actually. But we're going to be talking cologne fragrances for now, and some of the hottest and newest ones, whether you knew about them or not, including something like Armaf's Odyssey Revolution, Ultra Edition. I wonder what that's going to smell like. We're also going to be talking about Royal Blend Sequoia. And if you didn't catch some of the other fragrances, these all smell like Tom Ford's by Hammedi. I believe they're a part of a newer line. It's called the Lost Paradise Collection. So we've got quite a few to talk about here today, and whether or not they're worth the mentions, or bang for buck, I should say. So let's go ahead and get started with one that's new. And if you can't find it, please don't shoot the messenger. Starting things off with a banger of a fragrance. This needs to be on everybody's list. If you like that, I think it's kind of like we're beating a dead horse now. The fabric softener realm, yeah. Except this one has more spices, and it's also a little bit bubblegummy sweet. Watermelon Jolly Rancher rolled up into a fabric softener. Yeah, just don't do that. But this, it smells like that. It's called Nitro Elixir. Long-lasting, super potent stuff. That's it. It's simple as that. If you know the YSL Myself, the whole Absolute, all those trending style of scents, this one does it with an injection of Nitro Red. Super strong, super potent, and a lot more modernized than some of those as well. And what ends up happening is this woody, musky style of dry down is also included in the dry down, really giving you something that's also projecting, long-lasting, etc. Unfortunately, this scent profile, by the way, L'Absolu, is awesome, but it just does not freaking last. Moving on. So next one is called Royal Blend Sequoia. This is a great fragrance, but if you're looking for like an alternative or a replacement for Angel Share Paradis, okay, that's what this one clones. This isn't going to be exactly like it. Paradis is like $450 for a reason. There's a lot of oak barrel Absolute, and also the raspberry notes that's used in it is very expensive, along with the rose. Raspberry ketones, maybe some naturalistic CO2 style distilled rose, and I can say that because of the way it's, how diffusive it is, if you will. It still has a rich nature to it, and we're talking about Paradis in itself, and this one doesn't quite capture exactly the richness of what you'll find in the Paradis. However, it is the closest thing right now. It's the best thing right now because, like I said, the playing field, we only have two fragrances, if that are cloning it. So as of right now, this is going to be the best clone. If you don't want to pick it up, you can always wait for the Clone War, but this is hands down to date the best thing out there, since, I mean, it's kind of by default, right? You are going to be purchasing it at your own risk, and if something comes out tomorrow, I will be here to tell you about it tomorrow until we reach that Clone War to where we can finalize and find out which one's the absolute best one. So to me, it smells great. Whether or not it's worth it, that's completely up to you. Longevity for this one is a minimum of 6 to 8 hours. I don't want to say anything past that because I've only worn it about 2 times, and that's pretty much where it ends up. Could it have gotten stronger? Potentially, and they usually do. Moving on. Next one is called Venito White by French Avenue. This is a fragrance that's very indolic, white florals, very thick of a fragrance, and I believe it's a clone of Greenwich Village. I'm not really crazy about Greenwich Village, therefore I'm not crazy about this scent either. However, if you are into vanillic, indolic, very thick and white floral scents, then you're probably gonna enjoy this one. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think there's a certain level of sophistication and elegance, but also age that comes with this scent profile. So I can't really tell you how long it's gonna last because it's not something that's driven me into full wearings, etc. But nevertheless, it is new, it is coming out. I'm not the craziest about it, and that's simple as that. So whether or not it's worth the hype, it really depends if you like Greenwich Village, but for me personally, I wouldn't personally hype it because of the fact that I'm not crazy about the DNA to begin with. By De Sala, also a sub-brand of Armaf. This one is called Empire or Arza. And I thought we were done with God of Fire clones. This is another God of Fire inspo, except it's done the Armaf way, if you will. How close does it get and stuff? I'm not gonna go into it. We already did a Clone War, and the Clone War was great. But how this one smells is a lot like God of Fire. It's a little bit more green. It's less ambery, simple as that. It's a mango soda fragrance, okay? So if you like mango soda fragrances, go watch the God of Fire Clone War or consider picking this one up. That's pretty much all I have to say about this one. It is pretty damn addicting though, but the whole scent profile is, right? Whether or not it's the best, you're gonna have to watch the Clone War. In terms of its performance, this is one that I tested on skin the other day, and it gave me about 5.5 hours, and that's pretty much it. They do have a lot of new fragrances that are coming out, and some of which I already reviewed, like this Fruity Bliss, which smells kind of like apple juice, if you will, for women, unless you're a man that likes fragrances like Lattafa Sublime. This is a really good one. And then there's another one, this is called Genesis Omega. And this one I think smells kind of like Paco Rabanne's Phantom, but a little more aquatic, and that's pretty much it. Moving on. So these two fragrances are from the brand of Hammedi. Hammedi has the best non-alcoholic fragrances. Yeah, they're non-alcoholic. They last, and they honestly defy the norms of non-alcoholic fragrances. I don't even waste my time talking about them because generally, I'm talking non-alcoholic. Generally speaking, it doesn't really last, and a lot of people are unhappy. They have some kind of technology that they don't even want to tell me. And whether or not it's the truth, I believe them. I believe. Maybe they just don't want to tell me because there isn't a truth behind it. No, these last, they project. And if you guys know, actually let them know down in the comment section, all you Hammedi fans, there are a lot of you down there, Addicted Intense. Tell me, tell the people how long they last. Hammedi annihilates when it comes to projecting or perfecting performance in non-alcoholic. Do they last and how do they smell? There's a factor you guys should always remember or think of. Attars, usually just straight up oils, in regards to how close they get as a clone, won't always be the same because the alcohol infusion into those oils absolutely make a difference in the way that the scent develops and also into the way that the scent smells in general. But in the majority cases, I would say around 75 to 80% of the time, the scent profiles are cleaner and richer and they just smell better. Not necessarily the exact same, you catch the drift. This one's called Celestial Wood and it gets close to Tom Ford's Oud Wood. So you have this musky, hazy style of wood, along with one of my favorite notes, cardamom. So pretty sexy, spiced, but also mildly woody and oudy. There is no animalic nature to the oud that's in this one either. If you're looking into getting into spiced and woody scents, it's one of the better ones to get into. And I'm talking about Tom Ford's Oud Wood as a whole. But for now, Oud Celestial Wood by Hammedi. Projection and performance for this one on skin, it'll last damn near the entire day, but the projection is where you might take a compromise, at least after hour 2, but generally speaking, I mean, who really gets projection for most fragrances like this after that? Next one is called Divine Cherry, and it's absolute addiction. You remember, well, you may not remember depending on how old you are.
You talking to me?
But walking through or going through Chase Bank and getting a cherry lollipop is what this one smells like. Tom Ford's Electric Cherry. There's something about this that's very energetic, and usually, generally speaking, I contribute it to the note of ginger. Zingy, fresh, but also very effervescent, if you will. This one has a lighter take on a very rich and naturalistic style of cherry. It's not medicinal to my nose. It definitely has some characteristics that'll make it lean slightly more towards the unisex femme side, but I would still personally rock this as well. I think these are great fragrances that have been coming out so far by Hammedi, but I'm not really in a rush usually to try non-alcoholic. These are the first two that I dove into, and they're pretty good, so I thought I would share. Last but not least, we're gonna final this off with Armaf's Odyssey Revolution. This is really stupid good. The other day I was filming a bunch of shorts, and I remember spraying this on my neck, and I just remember something constantly waving up into my nose and just something was addicting, and I kept trying to think which fragrance was it? Was it this one, that one? And I had like probably 6 fragrances on. It was this. Very addicting. It smells like Ultramale meets Aventus. And the longevity and projection for this one, it honestly does put a lot of the older Odyssey fragrances to shame. This isn't to say that they're bad, but the quality and the projection and the performance, it's really damn good and could definitely be a great daily driver. Oh God, I can taste that for real. Did I spray it in my mouth? Ugh. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are some of the newest clone fragrances. I forgot one. Shit, how did I forget this? Zena's Nocturne, Initio Narcotic Delight on steroids. That's not saying too much because Narcotic Delight is weak as shit. This, it's just stronger. It's a cherry booze without the, it's cough syrup vibes, along with this suede and slightly style of like pepper texture, if you will. The suede vibe, right? The fuzzy texture with an ambery and vanillic dry down. Sexy, unisex, and it blows that $350 fragrance out of the water. It's called Zena's Nocturne. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are some of the newest clones and whether or not they're worth it. My name's Neep. Thank you for tuning back in Aromatics. And you could expect another, I forgot more clone fragrances. I have them right here. Another video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.